Copy, paste. Who wants it, yo? Do you know what I am? I am the shiznit. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. If you ain't copying, motherfucker, you ain't pasting, bitches. Copy, paste. If you ain't copying, motherfucker, you ain't pasting, bitches.
Yes. And
That's brilliant.
Welcome to the Midday Repartee. I am Rotten Glory, joined today by my co-host, Russ Leach. How you doing, man?
I'm fine. Thanks much better for seeing that intro. That was funny.
Yeah, that's, of course, the mighty Lord Finatra put together that the copy-paste song. I threw it together in a little video.
Very good.
So big thanks to Lord Finatra. He's an awesome dude doing a lot of great stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoy his where he's coming from. I like his attitude. I like the way he presents himself. So very good stuff. Barbusco, how you doing?
Hello, guys. I'm doing great.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. And of course, we've got El Gargoyle with us today, man. How's it going for you?
I got this rash on my balls.
Purple. Oh, ball rashes, you know.
Fine. How about you?
Yeah. Maybe clean a little bit more often. I don't know. Could be something. Then there's this guy. The gate kept.
Dude, what? You've taken my content. What the hell? You've opened up your show with my voice.
I know. I can't get enough of you, man.
You do not have written permission from the crowd to use my likeness, sir.
Okay. Well, we'll work it out.
No, we're not going to work it out. I'm going to strike you.
Okay, dude. I get struck every day. So.
You do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why?
Because I do things I know I should.
Got that kind of face.
Things.
But nobody listens to you.
I know. You think YouTube would get the hint?
Can I get
a
block on your writing stream, please? Can I get a block on your writing stream?
I don't know. Can you string words together?
Yes.
I wasn't aware.
You're using me for your intro. You might as well have me on it.
If you want to legitimately write and not,
I will come up with the greatest words you have ever heard spoken.
That sounds glorious, man. Yeah, just hit me up well, I don't know. Can you?
No, I'm not going to give you a DM. You're going to either put me on now, and you're going to confirm to the world I'm going to be there. On now.
If you are legitimately wanting to be part of World War I, there are slots available.
I just said I want the slot below Piper.
Below Piper. Okay, let's do it.
The one I just looked at it. Write me in right now and put it on there. When I see it confirmed, I will let it go.
Yes, I can't open that right now, but
yes, you can.
No, I cannot. I do not.
Do it now.
It will bog down my computer.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will. But I'm writing it down. You've got your slot. Don't worry. It's okay, man. We got.
You promise. Put it on Twitter right now that I am confirmed for that time slot.
You are confirmed for that time slot, right after Piper in World War I.
No, before. I want to be before.
Oh, I thought you said after.
No, I saw it. I looked at it. There's an open slot before Piper. I would like to be before it.
Got it. All right, man. Cool.
And can we have the slot after? Can we have the slot after Piper for the Jazz Crab?
No.
The Jazz Crab wants to speak.
Jazz Crab. Okay. Anyway, that's enough of that. We're gonna move on. All right.
So you promise I can have it before Piper?
Yes, you can have it.
Okay. I'm not gonna sue you then.
Oh, damn. That is a relief, dude. I was starting to sweat.
You went on his stream when you did that. It's free for
all rights reserved. Everything everyone says here I own outright, obviously.
Yeah, but you might want to tell somebody else about that.
That's not true. Cool, man. Well, welcome to World War I. Happy to have you.
I will be there with bells on.
All right. Yes.
I'm going to drop some fat lyrics to you.
Very good. Very good. So
what's this boring ass stream going to be about?
We are talking about digital comics today, sir.
Oh.
How do you feel about digital?
It's going to be the way of the future. It's just still not there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, just eventually we all have to hit reality. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing, I do understand that, and I do think that it would be a mistake to just overlook it completely. And I think
Oh,
more,
yeah, I totally agree with you on that one.
yeah, I think a lot of us do prefer the physical copies in our hands. I mean,
I do.
but it's I do think some of that is just that we were born in a time before digital landscape was really a thing, and of course we have that attachment. But if you have always had the screen, and that's just what you're used to, there might not be quite that attachment. So and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Digital sales for comics notoriously aren't that high.
You're gonna hear something from me you never heard. I agree with you.
No, this is impossible. Can't happen, man. Are you sure? This could be tearing at the fabric of the universe.
I'm the gate kept. Nobody listens to me.
I think there's a lot to say about this stuff because, for example, when we compare comic sales, digital comic sales, to games, for example, we are. I mean, I think everyone would agree that games are moving digitally, right? We still have gamers that buy physical copies and complain about digital, and there are some problems, right? But it is moving that way fast. I'm
going to give you an example. When I bought Battlefield 3, and this was back in 2012, I went to Best Buy specifically to get it on disc for my computer, thinking that I would be able to install it quickly.
Yeah.
I opened it up. There was no disc inside. It was just a CD code.
Yeah.
No way, dude.
Yeah. No, there was no point. You could have just they wasted me a trip. Ever since then, I'm just for the digital downloads on software.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make this a conversation about digital games, but there's many problems. Like, even if you buy a physical copy, you have on day one to download at least a 1 gig.
It all depends
patch,
about where your internet service goes and the speed you have.
Yeah. So that's a problem. But when we are talking about comics, digital comics, it's different because the only difference between a digital game and a physical, a game of a physical copy is just that
the disc.
The experience, the disc. The experience is the same, right? The experience of playing the game is the same. But when you're talking about reading comics, the experience of reading a physical comic, it's better, right? Most of the time, right? So that's why I think we still prefer a physical copy, right? Because it's something sometimes you like, something is something collectible, it's art, right? And this experience of reading it in front of you in the paper media is better than reading it on a computer or sometimes on an iPad, right? So I think that's something that makes it very different, and it's a problem moving forward. Like when we say, "Oh, it's the future," but it's kind of hard to be the future when paper is better to read.
I think it's your market that makes a difference. If you look if you look at music, for instance, you're always going to have a hardcore nerdy, set of people that like vinyl, and they're the people that are going to like print in comics, the equivalent. The mass market is going to take the digital download every time. The mass market is going to take, a digital like Napster or whatever. That's where your main market is. So if you're looking to make millions and millions off of multiple hundreds of thousands of units, digital is it. Mm-hmm. But if you're in the smaller market,
when's the last time you ever bought a CD?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When's the last time you ever bought a tape?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good point, man.
It was. I saw it way back when it happened with the Napster and the MP3 when that format came out. I'm going, oh, George is here. Can you please remove him? I can't be on the same stream with George.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was being honest. I watched it happen. You're never going to kill off the actually having a physical market, but what you're not going to have are the stores that sell it specifically anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
going to be sold through Amazon. It's going to be sold through big box, whatever, if any. That's the thing that people just, they want to keep clinging onto it. I'm going, the inevitable's coming. Just, you gotta adapt.
Yeah, and it's like once people started looking at local comic shops as something of a charity, something that had to be, out of the goodness of your heart, come and support your local comic shop. That's
Once you
the
start
death knell,
calling
man.
it a
That's
community.
the end. So,
COVID killed it.
When you compared it to the music industry, you made me realize how dangerous this is, because we bought CDs, then we start to download, and now we stream music, and the value of music has gone downhill. The artists that before could do shows and could, sell
That's where the
CDs.
money is. But that's where the money is in their
Yeah,
concerts.
I mean,
now.
that's what they
They're still
say,
doing shows,
some
man.
of they say, yeah, but that's the problem, that because, for example, what I'm saying is, I don't know if you guys have any experience like with web comics or selling only digital only comics, but I can tell you that digital comics, nobody buys them. They love to read it. There's an amazing audience out there reading web comics. Seriously,
But they're free, aren't
hundreds
they?
of thousands. Yeah, they are
Yeah.
free.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
right.
And they are free, but they don't want to buy your comic. They just want to read it. If you offer it on a physical copy, most people, and I mean most, like 98%, won't buy it. I have an experience with that. I researched that a lot. I have a web comic on Webtoons that has 7,000 followers there. That each page that I post, 2,000 people read it every time. But when I try to bring them to other platforms or try to sell them my comic, no, and people love my comic. People
Yeah.
loved it, but they don't want to spend money on it. So that's what I meant when you compare it to music industry. It's very alarming, because I think if we really go to the digital side of comics, it will lose value, like web comics actually.
Webcomics have no
Damn.
value when they're free.
Yeah,
That's a really interesting. Yeah, I think I hadn't thought about that component, but we've seen it happen more than once, especially with music. You're right.
Oh my God! Did I
So
make a
it's-
point that you agree with? Holy shit!
I guess so. This is a
but that-
monumental day.
But that's what I was saying about market. It's about the market.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
we have no control over this. The market has control over this.
Sure.
So if the market requires digital downloads, and let's face it, that's where everything goes eventually. If it's if it's a audio visual medium, it's going to go digital download eventually. So you're looking at a much smaller market of people who want to buy physical medium. Okay,
Yeah.
whether they want to buy a vinyl record or whether they want to buy a printed
They're
book,
called an LP, actually.
You realize I have to go to work, right?
LP, long
So
play.
That's why I
So-
took off fast rate.
So I
What
don't
the
know
hell
what
was that?
I don't know.
That was George's wife. She was yelling at him. That was awesome.
Someone's in trouble.
But it's all about the market. It's all about the end user. They're the people that are going to decide.
Yeah.
There's only one digital product I actually truly I buy. I buy the CG stuff. That's the hard paper, whatever you want to call it. But I only buy the Vader comic, Star Wars. That's the only one I get on digital.
Yeah. I'm starting to think about there are so many projects that I would like to back in CG, and I'm starting to go, well, okay, I can't afford to get all of these in the physical format. I can't afford the shipping costs, especially all the time. So I'm starting to consider, like, well, at least throw them something and get the digital if they're offering.
Buy what
so-
you like.
Yeah, of course, it has to be something that interests me. But even if I'm only buying something that I literally just absolutely want to have, I can't swing it. It's we're talking $40-$50 a pop. So
Really?
it's
Oh, you're
limited.
buying the higher. Okay. I just
Yeah.
buy the regular. I don't need special covers and all the stickers and crap. I don't do that. I put them over my toilet and I read them on the toilet.
No, yeah, I agree. I guess it's, I don't know, the average price of the book is what, 25, and then it might be 10 for shipping. I don't know. I guess it's around 35.
It's about
on an
37
average.
bucks usually with shipping. That's
Yeah.
what it works out to usually.
I bought a trade paperback of The New Gods the other day. No, not New Gods, The Eternals. And obviously it's a little bit thicker, but that cost me £22, and it cost me it didn't cost me anything to have it delivered because it was Amazon, but it's still like that's a fair chunk of money.
Yeah.
That's like $30, so you're gonna do it, and pretty much all the stuff that I buy from Indiegogo, I'm much like Testify there. I get the basic model because I'm all about buying the book. I don't want all the rest of the paraphernalia.
Correct.
I don't need it. It's just all I'm going to do is probably throw it away in the end.
Yeah. That's that's probably a topic for another day. Is like how
no, it isn't. Don't write that down. Don't write it down. Nobody wants to hear
well,
about
I
it.
am. I do like there's somebody, I can't remember who it is off the top of my head right now, but there is somebody creating a game framework for the trading cards, which I think could be really powerful.
Oh, another dumb card game. Oh.
Yeah, well, but every existing CG trading card would be able to get plugged into it, which I think that could be fascinating. I think that's fun.
Do you got the IV connected to your arm?
Not today.
Keep sucking the Kool-Aid, man.
No, I think it's a great idea. I actually really like that. I think it could work.
Until you guys come underneath the umbrella of a true company, there will never be what you just said.
That could be very true.
Ever.
I got a better idea.
Correct.
How about
and it gets very
games
complicated.
Or a straight breaks.
Sorry, what was that, Gargoyle? You broke up a little.
By the way, it's not complicated. It's you guys form a company and you all work together. Being independent.
Oh yeah, we've proven in CG that's always very simple to do.
No, you haven't, because nobody's done it.
Exactly. No, it's anytime you bring, especially large groups of creative, independent thinking people together and try and do something, it can get very complicated very quickly. So,
it's not complicated.
It is
very
complicated.
simple.
It isn't simple. No, it isn't.
You guys set up precedents, then you present it. You're a company.
It's so simple.
If you want to work for the company, no, I'm telling you,
done it.
Because I don't want to.
Right.
I'm a customer. But I'm trying to show you why the whole idea when I hear these CG talking points, the only way you guys will do this whole thing, this network and all these things, you form under one company.
Yep.
And you work together, and there has to be an equal thing of it, or however you decide how it's equal, spread out money-wise. Money is what sits in front of all you independent creators.
But
you all want the money.
That's the hard part.
No, it's not. It's not hard. You see how I just presented it?
To
It
get,
just has
to get
very
many
simple
to get different people with different objectives to do one thing together. I mean that's the
It's not if you want it.
But that's the problem.
The umbrella company, I think, would have to be set up, and we have talked about this. It would need to be a nonprofit, in my opinion.
No.
Yes.
No, because you are profiting.
Okay, then who owns this umbrella company? You understand that people aren't.
Whoever starts the company that's willing to fund
that's why it won't work. That's why that will not work.
And this is why this whole idea of a network and bringing everybody's card games into a thing, and then when money squabbles happen, if it got popular all of a sudden and one card was more popular than the other, what's going to happen?
Of course that would happen. That would always happen.
So what's the point of doing it then?
Why would that harm the value of
the people that invested into your game are going to get hurt because of your guys' inner squabbles.
I'm not following you on that point.
Okay.
I'm not
Think
following
about
you
it.
on that
You have
point.
people that want to follow you and play into a game that you guys are going to do as a card game. Being creators putting out a card like Magic. You're talking about Magic, right? That type of game.
In that framework, but you're not putting
Okay.
out the cards themselves. They're being put out by the independent creators
Yes,
through their campaigns.
but you're going
So
to
there
play
is
a
no-
game with a set of rules.
Correct.
But I don't think anyone would gonna play. It's just something like to collect, you know. I just
Okay, so what's the point of doing it then?
Oh, I think people would absolutely play. If it's,
I think they would, but here's the
I do.
thing. What happens when the game just disappears overnight because you guys get in a little fight with each other?
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not.
Think
I
about
haven't
what
really
I just said.
I understand what you're saying. It's always.
And I'm
gonna-
not
problem
talking out of
always
my
exists.
ass, and I'm not trolling you. I'm actually giving you pretty good advice right now.
No, I get you. I'm not doing the game thing. I just think it's a good idea.
It's not a bad idea. It's just it would only work in the form of being under a company, not
Correct.
individuals.
Right.
It would never be a thing. Individuals. That's where all these things go wrong.
I don't
I'm telling
know.
you.
I see
I've been
I
sitting
see the
back and
card.
watching it.
Just speaking to the card game, I see that if an individual puts in the hours to create that framework and something that works, where cards could be plugged in organically,
Make it a
into
company, sign people to it.
That's
gotta
up to
sell
the
your
individual
likeness.
creating that game. I don't see any problem with that.
Okay, but you'd have to be willing to sign your likeness over to the company that puts out the game. Will you do that? That's the question. After that, if you are, great. Your card will be in the game.
Creators
That's
would
the
have to
only
agree,
way it would work.
yes, that their card could be used or plugged into this game.
No,
but why
they would have
wouldn't
to
they?
sign. They would have to sign a contract
Of course,
with a
correct.
company that runs the game.
Yes,
It's not
but the
gonna be a
company would not be
network-
selling the cards.
It's not going to be an up in the air cloud company that doesn't exist. If you want to play a game,
Right.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that discussion is happening a lot lately. And then not just about a trading card game. It's about a lot of different things.
It'd be about anything. If you guys all working together and doing things, it's you want to have your characters in each other's in your comics. Great, but well, what am I getting if I give you my likeness to put it in here? You guys need to solve that before you put it out.
Correct. Yes.
That's not that. The thing is, I'm seeing more crap happening after the fact, not before you even
Yes.
started.
Exactly. Yeah. The legal construct has to be in place up front for anything. If a group of people are coming together to do anything, it can't.
And when
just
you
be-
say legal, it's not a we talked over an email or a stream.
yeah, right.
It's we signed something and it's
Yes.
official.
Correct. Anyway, these are again we've gone a little bit off the path here, but
No, we haven't. We're on it
a
right
little
now.
bit, a little bit. Let's bring it back to digital comics.
I did.
That's the topic of the day.
Well, and regarding digital comics,
Oh.
there's a lot of things that were said here before I jumped in that are completely poorly said, poorly thought out, poorly conceptualized. One is you can absolutely make money off of your webcomic. You're just not doing it right. That is full stop. You got 2,000, 7,000 followers. You can monetize that. You're just not doing it right. And I'll tell you why you're not doing it right. Because there are web comics out there that are perfect examples of the structure that's actually working, and a lot of people out there in the world are actually utilizing it. One called is Worm World Saga. The other one's called Scurry.
Okay.
These two are perfect examples of web comics. They're putting it out there. It's free. And then after a certain time, they produced enough pages where they say, hey, would you like to get the physical copy? Here it is.
George,
So they're
who are
actually selling something.
George, who are they?
Worm
Scurry.
World Saga and Scurry.
Why don't I know
Hold
them,
up.
George?
Hold up, go back to this.
Because it's not relevant to you.
Oh, okay.
The problem.
Well,
the problem
in the
with,
end, they actually sell something, so they
the
do
problem.
actually sell. Something.
But there's also another webcomic out there. I forgot what's
There are many web comics that
it's
are able to
all
monetize.
it's all in stick figures.
I'm not.
And they're
yeah.
what? They made over $1 million. They just took their web comics, packaged it up.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you cannot monetize your web
but
comics.
you can't talk about that in this context and say, it's not possible.
I did not say
going
it's not
back to. You went
I was
back
trying
to they eventually collected everything and packaged it and sold it. So they still
Yeah,
sell
what I
something.
mean is, like, for example, you have many campaigns in ComicsGate that have like
Okay,
50
define
backers.
kingpins.
Hold on. He didn't. What?
He said
He said
kingpins.
campaigns.
Oh, I thought you said kingpins. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Yeah.
trying to make like a point. Like, for example, you have many campaigns on kingpins on ComicsGate that are able to be successful, that are able to gather more and more, clients and readers that just have, like, on their first campaigns, like 50 backers, 100 backers. Like, you have EVS, 9,000 people bought it, right? 9,000 backers, and he has 1 million campaign with $1 million. Scurry has 4 million views. 3.2 million views on Tapas alone. And he doesn't even get to to touch EVS in his
And
campaigns.
why?
My point. What I'm trying to make, like, you can have you can reach a lot of people, and I made the point, like I said, you will 98%. I said 98% of people will not want to spend money on your webcomics. My point is that you can monetize your webcomic, you can do it, but your audience have to be so big, and that is so hard to do, so difficult to do on
It's not if
webtoons
you do
and
it
comics.
right.
No, it's not.
No,
that's completely wrong.
guys.
I'll tell you
Guys,
why.
do you have? Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because what you can do is you can package your product up, have it set up on a digital press. You're going to spend your maybe $60 to $150 to have it at the digital press, and then when you actually get the orders, you actually call up the digital press and say, hey, you know what? I need you to knock off 1, 2, 5 books. I got customers. What's so difficult about that?
By the way, you said that one guy had how many people that watch it?
Scurry has like 3.2 million views.
3 point. Okay, so 3,200,000. Okay, let's see it. And you said
he's on Kickstarter. You can find him easy on Kickstarter.
Okay. Okay, we'll do that. We'll divide
Also,
it by...
Worm World Sega, WORM World Sega.
I did find it interesting. I was doing a little bit of poking around trying to get some numbers on mainstream digital sales, and it's like they didn't really track it until it seems like maybe 2015 or so, and it's almost always like 90 million every time, and I'm like, are you really tracking this? Is this really a thing? It hasn't moved? What's going on with this?
That's an assumption number.
Is that what it? I mean, I don't think it has any basis in anything.
No,
from what I could tell.
No, it doesn't, because digital sales can be easily privatized. So the competition, Marvel, DC, or whoever, they don't really have to say anything to anybody of how much money they're making.
I get that.
It's a beautiful thing. It's pure capitalism, and you don't have to advertise your business.
Right. Yeah.
George so wants to be an American. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Hey, well, that's interesting. That's kind of becoming a rarity these days.
At least we have paper ballots.
Right.
Keep it up.
So, I mean, of the people here, like Russ, do you think there's profit potential in digital?
Profit,
or
is
it just more of a marketing tool?
Again, I think it depends on the market the market that you're fulfilling to. I don't think there's any profit in digital for me.
Right.
as an independent going to Indiegogo, because I don't think that I can sell the product for a reasonable amount. That you're saying it takes time, it takes effort, all these things need to be paid for, but I just don't feel that people value digital products in the same way.
Correct. Maybe
So-
the audience just doesn't exist for them yet.
Well, I just think that if you're a big company like Marvel or DC, and you've got potentially 100,000 people that might read a digital comic, then you can flog it for $2, can't you? And it's okay. You'll get your money
Correct.
back.
Yes,
But
it's a
if you're
numbers
just
game. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're just a little guy, then you can't necessarily get away with that. And if you put the digital version on your campaign with a physical version, you're devaluing your physical version as well. And people are
that's
less
a
likely
tough
to buy
one.
it.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
it depends. It depends who your market is, and effectively what the product type is.
All
God.
of your market should be the same, guys.
Oh my God! You guys, your thinking is so out of whack. It's
We're just
unbelievable.
having a conversation, George. It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
So you can-
All I'm saying, I'd love my potential market.
I've
I'd
been
love
doing
my
it.
potential market to be millions of people.
Yeah,
But it's
you know
not
what?
realistic.
Everybody wants a gold-plated toilet bowl, but we
Yeah.
can't all have that, can we?
Exactly.
Okay,
I
but,
can.
That's right, but I cannot agree with you guys because it's easy to look at the big guys. It's just like when we just have that conversation on the previous stream with Rod. Like people see
Nobody
the biggest
saw
guys.
it. Nobody saw it.
People love to see the biggest guys on ComicsGate campaigns and see how easy it is. See how easy it is, but you don't see all the hard work people do. But that's the same thing with webcomics. I'm saying that because I researched a lot of it. I saw lots of great webcomics that has 20 subscribers. I cannot explain to you how the hell did I got to get 7,000. I cannot explain to you. Seriously, I tried. I in my mind, I had an X strategy, and I saw some other guys that have webcomics better than mine do the same thing and get 20 subs. Right? What I'm trying to say is it's hard and it's easy to say it's easy. You just do that when you see the big guys. Scurry is a hell of a big guy. It's just like, if you ask 1 million, just do a webcomic, just do a comic and have a YouTube channel, and we have dozens of people here on YouTube on ComicsGate trying the same thing, but don't get the same traction. It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
George, wait. Why don't you guys get the traction?
You're comparing apples to oranges.
No, just God damn it, George. Listen to what I just said. Why don't you get the traction?
Guys, I think there are so many factors. There are so many factors involved in that. It's not a clean, simple answer when you ask the question. No, it isn't. You want it to be clean and simple.
It is,
so you can make your point, but it isn't. It's clearly not a simple.
I know that it's not
willing
necessarily
to
the
hear
quality of the
it.
book.
You guys aren't realizing that you don't know how to advertise correctly.
That I'm not going to disagree with that.
That's what it is. It's simple.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
Doing it the way everybody else has been doing it isn't the way.
Yeah.
You have to make yourself different.
Correct. Right.
Yeah, you're comparing apples to oranges. You can't see EVS as an example for your blueprint, or John Malin as an example for your blueprint, or Mike,
of course not.
or anybody else. And that's,
Correct.
and that's
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Yes, it is.
I'm saying that.
Go ahead.
You can't. You don't run the show. You can't say.
Yes, I do. Okay, hold on 1 second. I just want to inject this real quickly. EVS didn't come out of the gate being the EVS we know today, did he?
No.
Of course not. It took how much time?
Why are you comparing yourself to EVS?
It's not about comparing to EVS. It's about it takes time to understand what you yourself are doing. It takes time to refine what you're doing. It takes time to get good at something. So if you're not going to give people have to be given that time.
Would you
Guys,
say
you cannot.
put?
When someone else is talking, you have to not talk. Do you understand how this works?
Would you say EBS put the work in to get the reward?
Absolutely,
Yes.
he put the work
Yes.
in. Yeah.
Guys, when I mention EVS, I'm not trying to say that, oh, you should do the same thing or comparing. I'm trying to say that it's easy to say, oh, it's easy to do this. Look at these successful people. And for example, it's easy to say, just be different. When,
No, it isn't.
That's the point. Being different is hard.
No,
if it is,
Hey, listen
because
to
if
me.
it wasn't, everyone would be successful.
Okay, what you're
You
saying,
know,
I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with you. What you're saying
Okay.
is complete bullshit. Why? Because talking about being different is being branding. If you can't brand yourself, if you can't have your characters and your story and your artwork stand on its own and have a signature on the shelf. So when you go to a bookshelf, and you're looking at a sea of
Calm
books,
down, George. Take your medicine.
when you see a sea of books, can you pick out your product out of all the other products? If you can't, if it gets
You're
lost in the bookshelf,
really choppy.
then that's poor branding. Come
Okay.
on, man.
You might be copy and pasting.
the initial point.
Here's
the
30
initial
years. Wait a minute. Here's 30 years of digital comics. Back when I started this, 1990, I was distributing it on a floppy
Please
disk.
have a stroke.
Hold
It'd be
on,
awesome.
I was distributing on a floppy disk. Back in the late 90s, Dark Horse came out with a web comic. No, not a web comic. A multimedia interactive comic of The Mask. Okay, they sold it on CD. Okay, did they continue it? No, they didn't.
What's a CD?
Yeah, exactly. Now, in the 2000s, they tried again with multimedia comics, taking Watchmen and other books, Thor, and just chopping it up and moving it around and putting dialogue to it. Did they continue that? No, they didn't, because it didn't work. What else did they do? In the mid 2000s, they did Madefire. It was supposed to be a platform.
George, less examples.
No, this is history. In mid 2000 to 2010, they had Madefire, where they took your work. It was a built-in platform that would animate your book and stuff like that. Did that go well? No, it didn't.
Right.
Then the digital book distribution happened through Apple.
Let me guess. You believed in the Philips CDI too.
Guys,
And what happened? Is that going well? Yeah, you know what? Digital distribution is going really well.
Can I give you a perfect example? Can I give you a perfect example? And I'm not trying to gloat about us or me or anything. We sold 50 plus of a fucking wristband with that StarWarsGuy.com on it as a joke to show you guys that are debating this exact thing. It's hard. It's not hard.
No, guys,
Do it
sorry.
right.
Maybe I didn't explain myself.
No, I just explained it to you. Why is it hard to understand? We took something that was $12. $12. 50 people bought it. The next thing we put out, 70 plus people bought it.
I've tried to. I said this many times here on Rod's show already. Well, my point is that ComicsGate is different.
We didn't use ComicsGate. We used our own show and did it ourselves.
Awesome. What I'm trying to say is I'm not saying that you can do successful campaigns, that you don't, that it's hard to, advertise and do, to brand yourself. I'm not saying that. My point is that web comics, the reader, the audience, this big audience there for web comics, most of them don't want to pay. That's my point. My point is that you have Scurry. You have Scurry, like 200 subscribers.
For free. Why would I pay you for something you're giving me?
Yes, that's my point. That was my initial point.
How do you change the mentality?
Yes, that was my initial point. Like, for example, I tried for a whole year to monetize Instagram, to grow Instagram.
Let it go.
But in 1 or 2 months, in 1 or 2 months, by just showing my stuff on Twitter for ComicsGate, just trying to show my stuff to ComicsGate, people, the engagement was different. I said on Rod's show before, The
is
community here, the indie community on Twitter is
You have 10
very
people
engaged,
watching right now.
It's very engaged.
Rotten,
Yes.
Rotten, can you bring up the webcomic this gentleman has?
My
Sure.
webcomic.
Can
my
you
webcomic.
can
You
you
guys
bring
gotta
that?
keep it simple, man.
Can you grab that Barbusco and share your screen?
Sure.
I'd love to show it. Yeah.
It's just the thing is this. You just said all the things everybody else does. What did you do different than everybody else?
I don't
Nothing.
understand your point. I don't
Do
understand your
something
point.
different
I'm not.
to make yourself stand out.
Right.
No, it's
No,
not hard.
there's not. That's absolutely true. You're right. I think more thought should be put into that. You know, you've got this incredible passion. You're creating something that you want to get out to people. And then when it comes time to like, how do I get this? How do I get eyes on this? The same amount of care and passion isn't put into that side of it. And maybe that's a shortcoming for a lot of us.
I'm not going to gloat. I'm not going to gloat either right now. You know Elasmat, right, Rodden?
Yes.
Okay. His campaign was at like $1,700 months ago. Okay. He came in because we knew him from War Campaign and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Very friendly with him. He's a great guy. I said one day on our stream, I go, you know what? We're going to focus on just your book, and let's see what happens. In about a 2-week period, he was at $3,000.
Nice. Well done.
Now he's got to deal with Roku and Amazon on your thing. You could watch his stuff he puts up, and we're going to start pushing it.
Nice.
We did something different than everybody else. We
Correct.
didn't show up on anybody else's shows sitting here going, oh, look at the line art. Oh, look, it's so beautiful. Oh, how are you doing today? How do you feel? Oh, you feel good? Let me feel
Right.
nice for you. We
Yeah.
present a fun atmosphere for people. It might not be fun for some people that are there, but we allow everybody into it. Difference.
That's great. You found your thing,
Yeah.
your way to do
My
it
point-
differently. And I
When
your
our-
point is
But here's
taken.
the thing. I'm not a creator. I know how to sell things. Have I
Yeah.
Right.
asked Elasmat for anything? No, and I'm not going to. It was just a point to show you guys that say exactly what you did, how it's hard. Yeah, it
But
isn't. It isn't
how
easy.
Yeah,
does
yeah, no,
that
I
work?
agree. I
Listen,
agree.
listen,
But my point is,
listen, listen.
TV production, movie production.
He did
Yes,
not.
sir.
Okay, he's a. Okay, if you want to give him more credit than that, you can.
White Cat Comics.
I'm not giving him more credit. This is the history he shared with everybody before.
Okay.
He's already had.
Mr. El Gargoyle, here's the thing. He has a channel that has a lot more subscribers than we do. And more people watch our little channel over anything he puts out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My point
I
is,
don't know. I don't watch your show.
You have
so
a very
I wanna know
dedicated
about
core
the
group of
watch
people
your
in
stream.
your
No, the thing
in
is
your
this,
group, and it's
we're-
born out of something
we're gaining every time.
Uh-huh,
When we
right.
stop gaining, that means we're becoming stagnant, and we need to change something.
I get that.
But once again,
Everybody
I
in
get that.
ComicsGate.
Let me ask you. Let me ask
the
I
you.
same
agree
thing.
completely. I agree completely with everything you said. My point is just this. For example, White Cat Comics. She mentioned let's play webtoons, right? Made $250,000 on their first Kickstarter, right? They have 3.5 million subscribers on webtoons. That's
Why
just
are
my
you
point.
worried
Like, for-
about that? Why are you worried about that? Worry about you.
worried. I'm not worried, man. I'm just trying to say my point is, again, I'm not worried. I'm not complaining. My point was just like you said, people read for free because people like to say, oh, webtoons is a good way
Do you have a book that I can
comic.
put in people's
I'm
hands?
not saying I'm not.
Do you
I'm
have a
saying
product I could put in
dude,
people's hands?
you're completely misunderstanding me.
Do
I don't
you have-
understand. I
Can I
don't
ask you a
understand
question?
what you're saying.
No, listen
My-
to what I'm saying. I'm going to
Okay,
make it very clear. Do you have a product
Dude,
right
I'm
now?
not talking about my comic.
Oh.
I'm not talking about my comic. I don't want to sell it right now.
If
It's
you
not
listen
complete.
to what I'm saying, you'll understand.
Dude,
I'm not
I'm
fighting
trying
with
to
you.
make a point. Okay,
I
I
will
don't
tell
have.
you.
I don't have.
Do you have something I could put in front of people that
No,
you can make a
but
dollar
I'm
off
not.
right now?
No, but it's not that point. The point's not me. I don't want to sell it right now.
Why?
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about me, for example. I know that I could sell stuff.
Then
I
don't
know.
complain about anybody else. Worry about
I'm
you.
not complaining, dude. My God, man,
Worry about.
it's really hard to talk to you.
Barbusco, it's okay, man. It's testify. I don't know.
No,
Is this your
I'm
first
trying
video?
to tell you.
No, and dude,
My
testify.
God.
You're actually being a real part of a conversation. I appreciate
I'm
that.
telling you,
It's cool.
One of you guys give me your product. I guarantee you, I will sell you 1 to 5 copies at least
great.
of it. Whatever
And I
it is.
agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. I just trying to say that my point was another thing. People like to say that, post your comics on Webtoons. That's my point. But I don't think that's a good idea.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
okay. That's the point.
I
that
think
I'm
you guys
trying to
agree.
make.
I think there is some
that's what I'm
validity in
trying
the
to
idea
say.
that digital maybe there's a perception of a value loss on a digital. Like Russ was saying, if you put the digital on a campaign with your physical, is it a conflict? Does it devalue the physical?
No,
Does it devalue the comic in general?
Give me your product that you have a hard time selling already, that you've already tried. I guarantee you I could push it and get it
Yes,
sold.
I agree. Because
What does that have to do with the argument of digital comics?
Digital in the same campaign doesn't devalue it. Why? Because if someone picks digital over a print as an option, it means that they're either one, they couldn't afford, or two, maybe they're more interested to find out what's the book about than actually taking an investment into it.
Maybe they want to read it on their phone or their tablet.
Yeah, exactly. So it digital doesn't devalue it. In fact, if you actually think about it and be a little smart in your marketing, you can say, "Hey, if you're not sure yet, why don't you buy the digital? And if you like it and you want to get the print, I will discount.
Yeah, I agree.
The cost of the digital off of the print. You know, be a little smart in your marketing of yourself.
I agree. My point is, like, for example, you have White Cat Comics. How many subs does she has on YouTube?
It doesn't matter. Oh my God!
It has no. My point, dude. I'm trying to make. Just my point is this: like, she has a small YouTube channel and still a small Twitter following, and still she was able to sell her comic. That's
Did you hear the one word you said there? She.
Oh, it doesn't.
I'm
matter.
agreeing with you guys. I'm just trying to say that with a small following, with a small dedicated following, you are able to sell your comic.
Jobs and a hair job, you'll sell more comics.
The point. I'm agreeing with you guys. I'm just trying to make the point that Webtoons is not a good place to sell your comic. It's not a good place to get paying customers. You can get with a small following on Twitter, with a small following on YouTube, with dedicated advertising. But Webtoons is not, because if you try to, people there, the audience there don't like to pay stuff, you know.
Your strategy is completely in error. I'll tell you why. Because it's digital.
Yeah. My strategy. I am agreeing with you guys, and I am in error. I don't understand that.
One sale is a profit as a digital. It doesn't matter if you have 20 followers or.
I know,
20,
Carla.
20,
sorry,
20,
I'm just trying.
20 followers or 20 million followers. A sale is a positive number. You know,
if you make 1 penny over your cost, that's profit.
Well, and that's an interesting thing. I mean, if you remove print costs and shipping costs and all the production costs on, say, stretch goals and whatever, if a creator is just selling a digital comic, when is that considered successful? Like Russ, as a creator, if you were just selling digital, if it was just that's all you could, let's just say for some reason you did not have the option to print a comic, all you could offer was a digital, what would you consider a good return on your effort for producing the pages?
Negative $5
on the book that I'm producing at the moment.
Just any let's say a 48-page comic project.
Yeah.
If you sold it digital, and that means you're removing all those extra costs.
Well, I think you'd have to be looking at $15 because you're removing the print cost. and
Yes.
the management of the post.
I think 15.
Who set the
50
price though?
Wait a minute.
No, I'm talking like
how
how much would you need to get from that to make it
I'm
a
just
success
saying
in your mind?
what you'd need to get. That doesn't mean.
I
that
mean
you-
total, like
it
as a
depends.
campaign.
But again, it depends on how many people you're going to get to sell that to.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't set a how many people you think you're gonna get.
I
You got to set a cost of what it costs to make it, then hope you get every dollar you can from as many different people as you can. You're never going to have a set number of people you're going to sell to.
I know, but I think it depends on also what are we talking about here. I mean, we're talking about a very specific project. So we're talking about me going to a Indiegogo and getting it Kickstarter, getting it crowdfunded. That's a slightly different thing to talking about the market in general. So, for instance, if I had books on my site and I had a stock of those books, or I was selling them through Amazon, then George has got it absolutely right. I could be selling every time I sold a digital copy, I could be doing a deal with saying, come back and I'll give you part of the money back and you can get a physical copy. It's a great way of marketing, but when you're looking at it from a crowdfunded perspective, I think it's a different kettle of fish.
And really, you want to talk about setting a price? If you're actually working, whether it's a physical book or a digital book, you want to think about setting the price. Okay, how much is the cost of electricity for you to actually sit there and draw?
You're actually going to talk about cost perspective now.
Yeah. Well, Testify is going to love this. It's right up his alley.
You're talking about that thing called overhead?
Yeah, overhead. The cost of electricity, the cost of the mortgage or the rent, the cost of the food. How about what about your time itself? How much does that cost? So when you actually sit down and you actually think about the concept, starving artist. Yeah, I did a gag flow chart.
Nobody understood your gag, George.
Many years ago for a Kickstarter project, right? And it came and the number came down to what's it, a third or a quarter of minimum wage over a few months to produce a book. Who works those slave labor kind of hours and cost? Oh, I'll tell you, everybody who likes to create a product. So at
do you guys look at how much it costs a year to run your computer?
No, seriously, no one thinks
$37.
That wasn't
$40.33.
Yeah. Did you factor that into what it costs to make your book?
What about the internet service that you got? The phone service that you got?
What about all that lotion you go through? That's sitting there next to the computer. I mean,
Oh God, she's here. What the fuck?
Oh God.
To respond to somebody that's comment you put up there, no business ignores a demand. You are correct, but not every business can meet said demands.
You quit YouTube an hour ago. Why are you here?
You told me to come here. I told you I just woke up. What the hell?
I don't know
you.
You
don't even know these people. Yeah, you
I don't.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with you either.
Mr. Yanafui in the chat. I watch you. I watch you. I watch you. How you're not including Joe King in your videos. I'm watching you.
You were just in the last video, George.
Okay, before the last video.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
It's weird seeing George be like a normal person.
No, this is George normally. This is what I try to keep people away from.
Oh, okay. It's just weird. I heard him yelling. I was like, whoa, I don't hear George yelling like this.
Yeah.
You know those times when I'm not around when he does his little thing?
See what happens when you talk about money? When you get a bunch of men talking about money, people start yelling. Jesus Christ.
Ray, I've actually been the comments one here.
I know. That's why I'm saying, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, it's been a bizarre day, to say the least.
Hey guys, you can make money off your webcomic. I've been doing it for a very, very long time. It's not rocket science.
Oh, Ray,
you
got to change your name to Liam Ray now, by the way.
No.
The thing that you have as a strategy.
But do you make money off of the webcomic by selling it physically? Is that what you're talking about?
That too. Yes.
It's an incentive. It's an incentive to buy the physical copy.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Right.
And you know what? And here's the wacky thing. A lot of people go, wait. When I told them this 2 years ago, in ComicsGate, they all thought I was batshit crazy. Maybe that's why I'm being shunned.
Oh, we know you're batshit crazy. That's not in question, sir.
He's not batshit crazy. You just got to keep him on track.
Right.
Well,
right.
I told everybody, you know what? I'll give you the digital. You know, okay, you don't want to buy the digital? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. If you like it, buy the digital. If you like it so much, buy the physical copy. But I'll give you the digital for free if you're not interested in getting the digital. And a lot of people took me up on it, and a lot of people who took me up on it, they actually ordered the physical copy off my direct store. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I get that.
Sales are consistent.
George,
do you guys
the only
remember?
beautiful is your wife beating you.
Wasn't there talk of back? I don't remember when this was, or if this is just a figment of my imagination. But wasn't there talk of some kind of digital paper that they were working on, where things could be downloaded into a?
It's called a tablet.
Well, no, where you literally can turn pages, though, where it recreates that experience.
It's called a tablet. It's called swiping. You use your finger and you swipe.
Not the same.
No.
Not the same.
We're talking
like
about
a Kindle. Like a Kindle.
No,
I was literally referring to something they were working on where you would have pages.
It's a paper-thin technology that you're talking about. It's already developed.
Somebody's got an echo. Death Metal Hero doesn't know how to mute his speakers.
Yeah,
hey, Death Metal Hero, how you doing?
That technology's been created.
Save me.
They haven't.
Save you from what?
No, I'm having a good time. This is good.
I thought I came to save the show.
Shut up, Ray.
Power. Women power.
She's such a cunt.
Booby privilege.
Come on now.
What? I am. He's not wrong.
No, I'm talking testify.
He's not wrong though. I can be.
Oh well.
How's that? Is that better?
The guy above
No. Less you. Mute again.
No, you're good, Death Metal. Welcome to the show as it is.
Yeah, I can see.
It became
it's
George's
more
show.
of a shit show than normal, it seems.
Yes, it is.
Became George's show.
And that's saying something, man.
Yeah, I know. This show normally doesn't have any fucking rails.
Damn, he just said your show usually sucks.
Yeah.
I did not say anything about sucking. I said it doesn't have any rails.
Yeah, sometimes.
The chaos makes it fucking exciting!
He threw shade. 100% threw shade.
Brock knows he's my homie.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't even going back a little bit. You said that like selling the physical of a web comic is like it's a way to sell that, right? But doesn't that in and of itself suggest that the value is in the physical, not the digital?
No, the value is in the sale. However you make it, whether it's digital
that's some
or
tricky.
print.
That's some magic language right there. That's some spell casting. Okay.
It's in the sale. Can you sell the digital? Can you sell the physical? Can you present an option to a customer where they'd be happy to take their money and give it to you? That's right. That's what it is. Full stop.
Okay.
See, I like digital to take with me. Like if I want to read an entire run of something while I'm on vacation or something like that, digital's great. You know, I can take an entire run of something and read it. But when I'm at home, I want physical because I want to add it to my collection.
Yeah,
give me something physical in hand. I want to feel the paper. I want to smell the print. You know.
Yeah, but that's preference. You know, preference. That's not relevant to the sale. The thing is, here's something.
It's relevant to selling to me.
I know.
It's not.
Here's something that I can actually bring to the real world. A perfect example. IDW. They do their oversized artist editions, right? Everybody loves them. Yeah, they're expensive, like $150, $200 books. It's ridiculous, right? What are they doing next year? They're bringing it to the paperback, which will cost $25. So they're taking.
That's a distinguishing format at that.
Yeah, exactly. But what they're doing is they're presenting a cheaper option. So digital is presenting a cheaper option of a printed sample. A printed sample is presenting an option of the digital. Guys, it's not rocket science, for crying out loud. Here's the thing that a lot of people get wrong when they're producing digital. If you're consistent on a regular schedule and people can set their watch by it, you'll be successful.
You mean delivering a good product on time? Yeah.
Yeah, you present. If you're presenting a 4-panel every day, you do that. You stick to that. You do everything you can to maintain that schedule. Your audience will grow, and a year later, you'll see how big your audience has grown.
Mm-hmm.
If you're presenting once every 2 days, once a week, you maintain that schedule. Guys, the thing about publishing, schedule. If you can't maintain a schedule, you're screwed.
Yeah, if you can't deliver on time,
it doesn't matter.
You've got no consistency.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're Marvel or anybody else, Marvel, DC, or anybody else who's small. Marvel, remember what happened when Marvel couldn't get a book out on schedule? They had to refund. They had to refund on a massive scale. They had to have the books on a returnable basis. In fact, they even had to cancel a whole line and reboot the series because what happened? The artist was growing roses. Well, fuck you. Go to the garden, grow roses. Somebody, bring somebody else in who actually takes the project seriously. And you're telling me, oh, it's going to take me a long time to draw this stuff. Bullshit. In the 60s, 70s, 80s, those guys were producing more than one book a month.
And usually with higher quality art than we seem to be getting now.
Oh man, what is going on with art? Is Disney just broke? Are they out of money? Is that what's happening?
Disney out of money.
Seriously, I mean, their behavior is starting to reveal that maybe they just are broke.
If you're talking about them not paying Alan Dean Foster, I think they're just waiting him out until he passes away.
There are so many things going on across all different mediums of Disney production that suggest they are in serious trouble.
Let's be honest here. Is anybody actually excited about any of the fucking Marvel movies from here on out? Like any of them? Does any of
no,
that
it's
shit
over.
excite you at
That
all?
era of films, it's done, and they should damn well know it because it's over.
Yeah,
Black
Wonder
Panther
Woman
died. We can't make another one.
Wonder Woman. What is it?
The hell?
Wonder Woman's coming out on the 25th on streaming and theaters.
I still have yet to see the first one.
I thought they just canceled it outright.
No. It's coming out on the 25th. They bit the bullet. AT&T bit the bullet and said, "Yeah, let's just get this out and see if we can make any money on it because it's sitting on the shelf. It's costing them. Why? Because the insurance company is jumping at their heels, going, "Hey,
right.
Oh yeah, if a movie doesn't come out in the theaters on a certain time and advertisers are nipping at your butt because they have a contract, you have to hit the theaters or else all those incentives, marketing, advertising, sponsorships, you have to refund all that.
It's a big machine.
That's why they have to hit the theaters. That's why they have to put it in the theaters to complete their contract.
I totally go to like a drive-in thing. My local theater here set up like one of the walls of the building, and they set up like a drive-in thing out in one of the side parking lots. And I got to see Empire Strikes Back sitting in my car.
Oh,
shit. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
I heard
it was fucking great, man.
Oh.
In Georgia, right?
AMC is renting theaters out for $100 now for 20 people parties. So there's that.
Yeah. Are theaters open where you guys are? I mean, I don't think the theater's open here where I'm
limited capacity, but yeah.
Yeah.
They opened here and they closed back up because my state is stupid.
The whole world at this point, I think, could be classified as stupid.
Well, our little
or insane.
Our master of our state decided that we're gonna go have a 9:30 p.m. curfew, and most of the businesses that just reopened now have to close back down. So we're back to phase 1, folks. And
it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
Science, the COVID says, "Hey, oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta stop infecting people."
That's right.
The governor has corona.
Oh yeah, it's 9:30, guys. We're going.
Guess what? Guess what, everybody? You all have corona. Whatever it is that they're classifying as COVID, you all have it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Decades.
Oh, I thought it was
it's a classification of virus. It's just the designation 19 is the one that everybody is, up in arms about.
How do we always wind up back here? I hate this topic.
I thought I just had herpes. Thank you for clarifying. It was COVID this whole time.
I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, that must
can you guys
be
hear me?
relief, right?
Can you hear me?
Careful.
We can.
Can
you hear me?
Body part.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Somebody.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I might have a breaking news thing.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Bated breath.
What if a big time CG'er that has boobs can be proven to be doing the exact cancel culture thing that she says that she's against?
Right.
I would say that this isn't the place to bring it up.
No, what would you think? Because she's profiting off.
Listen to me, Republicans. Listen. You are the people in history this war is about.
Yeah.
Again.
Great.
She profited off of the ComicsGate audience. It took away from your guys' bank account.
Whatever, dude. That goes against. That contradicts everything you
guessing
speak
it
to
probably
about making
didn't.
money anyway. But I don't. This isn't.
It does.
I don't even.
It does.
I don't know what you're referring to. I don't.
I know
I'm
you
fairly
don't
certain
because
I
I
do, but
only
I don't
know
give a
about
fuck.
it.
Okay, great. Well, you keep it to yourself.
What do you think of bounding into comics.com?
What?
I check it on a regular.
Okay, well, what would you think if they were? I could prove they're totally for cancel culture and canceling all you guys.
I can
Whatever.
tell you that I'm fucking exhausted with this conversation already.
Yeah, exactly. And that would just be a Thursday, man. Everybody wants to cancel.
No, they don't.
ComicsGate. Yeah, they do.
I don't.
Of course they do.
I don't know
What
what
if
it
the person they're protecting is a big person in ComicsGate?
Again, don't give a fuck.
I know you don't because you don't make any money
when
anyway.
you say
Nobody
it's someone
watches.
when you say it's someone with boobs, you're talking ComicsGate. That could be male or female. I don't know.
That is true.
Damn.
I have seen what's
That
his name
was-
on your streams.
Damn, that was kind of savage, though.
Yeah,
No, it's
I'm sorry,
not.
what?
that's
Copy,
right.
paste.
Yeah, you've had Bristoli and Dave on your show.
Copy, paste.
That's right.
Yeah, Bristoli and Dave, man tits.
Oh yeah, he's fond of his man tits.
I know they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Are they better than mine?
No,
Okay, then.
I'll even give you that.
Okay, cool.
But you are still black though.
Well, I feel like we made zero headway on this topic, honestly.
Money. Just
Are you
make money,
surprised?
people. Make good good product. Make money. There you go.
It could be that it is that simple, isn't it? I mean, if you make a badass comic, no matter how you deliver it to people,
that-
it will probably
No,
make money. But
no,
you have to,
no,
according
no.
to, you have to be able to market in a unique, high energy, high impact way. Is that what you're saying? It's about the marketing.
Oh, it's like, but we even
It's
missed
about
out.
a lot of things. If
Well,
you
It is.
Hold
It
on.
is. I agree.
if you're
hold on.
making, go ahead, Jared.
We missed to even address the biggest part of the money making machine in forms of digital, the commissions. There's so many people that are constantly producing digital commissions and also physical commissions.
Nobody cares,
Hey,
George.
shut up. Okay, that's
Oh,
that's
so
a lot
everybody's
of
just
money.
supposed to listen to the bullshit you spout off, Testify, but you can tell everybody to shut the fuck up. How about you?
Death
shut
Metal
the fuck
Hero,
up?
what'd you do next?
That's a lot of
I
money.
got a lot of shit going on that you don't know about.
I didn't get a shit. You guys always have a lot of shit going around, but never gets out. Amazing.
That's a lot
Maybe
of money.
because I'm
in the
doing shit
commission.
behind the scenes that I don't need to show anybody right now.
And these things
Have no
never get
fucking
out.
clue what's going on in my life.
Death Metal Hero, you have man tits.
And you've probably got, a dick in your throat. Who fucking cares?
Cut it, Ross.
Testify has a unique talent for sure.
So, I mean,
Death
come on.
Metal Hero's
The rage.
got man tits. Death
know,
Metal Hero has man
yeah.
tits.
Okay, he's
That's
got
enough.
his back played.
Wow, what are
Okay.
you, fucking 5? Jesus
Who
Christ.
else?
Yes.
Who else has?
Okay, well, that
profited
explains a
off-
fucking lot.
Who else has?
Why are you
profited
talking to a minor?
Ladies, can you put your vaginas away for like 2 seconds?
Yeah,
George is
that
still
would be nice.
talking.
Yeah,
White Cat
not?
Comics, I agree. I would have loved to have talked about digital.
Anna,
but-
that Star Wars girl's gonna
Yeah,
get exposed.
you're taking this off topic. Just shut up. Okay, listen. Well, the commissions, the digital commissions, print commissions. I kid you not. All of you see the same thing I see on Twitter. Commissions are open. $25, $35, $50, $75, $100. And then I go, okay, this is awesome. And then you know what I see even more awesome? Commissions are closed. Why? Because they have
They're too
sales.
busy.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. That's
Right.
awesome.
So you're talking about an alternative way for artists to produce income
Yes,
through
absolutely.
commissions. Of
Yes,
course.
it's
But that's again, how does that? We're speaking to a
digital. Yes, digital. You got it.
Is delivering digital comics a viable revenue source for comic book creators? Is it possible that it could become a revenue source?
A comic. I'm going to throw this out there to everybody. What is a comic? Is it the number of pages? Is it the 4 panels that make up a story? Is it the singular a piece of art that actually has a narrative?
I'm gonna answer your question.
What is it?
I'm gonna answer your questions right now. If you're starting up, you have nothing, right? You're trying to start. This is a business for yourselves, right? You're making this comic for yourselves. I will say George hit some good points. If you want to make a physical copy, that's going to cost you more money than it's going to cost to do digital. So if you're starting off and you're broke, obviously the smart financial decision is to do it digitally because you're not having to spend money on physical pages in a book to produce. You could do it easily yourselves. You're saving yourself money because when you're starting a business in a comic, you're putting money out of your own pocket. It's basic business ethics. If you know how businesses work,
You can do print on demand too.
you can do print on
You
demand, but
don't.
what's cheaper for you? What's cheaper for you? Paying for physical
You,
paper or
but
doing it
you
digital?
won't pay for print on demand.
You do
Yeah, but
when you
print on
can.
demand, you
No,
probably
no,
make
we
less
can't.
of a profit margin. I mean, you're
Yes.
giving away all your profit to that company.
Right, you're putting money
Not really.
it's
Not
your
You
really.
don't
money
think
that goes
so?
into this.
No,
Oh, come
I'm
on.
planning on doing it for Amazon for my webcomic.
Yes.
I saw the
Print on demand. You can go through Amazon and actually get be like a Reddit description, screwed on the percentage. But
Yeah.
if you find yourself a good digital press in your local area, you can actually set up your work on their service, and
Yes.
and then when you make a sale, you say, hey, I need a X number of books produced for this week or this month, and then you mail it out to your customers.
Yeah.
I do that. There's a press here in Canada called Studio Comics Press. They do it very, very well. And I worked in the print side of the business, both sides of business, front end and back end. And when I saw what they produced as a digital press, I go, like, this is good. It's perfect.
Yeah, but I wonder why just 50%, according to Rod, 50% of ComicsGate's campaigns offer digital stuff.
It's a philosophy. John Malin, was it your boy Zach, EVS, and a bunch of others? It's a philosophy. They think, oh, if I offer digital, it'll take away from my print sales. But look at what Mike S. Miller did. He offered digital, and I bought his product for the first time. And he's offering digital on other stuff. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Wasn't physical copies usually more than digital anyways?
Yes.
So wouldn't it be smarter to offer digital to give people a
Yes.
idea of what your comic is so they can see if they
That's
like it?
what-
So if
yeah.
they want more, you want to buy
Yeah,
physical copies.
Yeah. And
that's
George
the
has talked
problem.
about that a lot. I know
Right.
George, as an individual, does that. He will get the digital if he really likes the product as a show of respect to the creator. He will buy that physical copy.
Right.
But it's, yeah, and I think that's a very, it is, I think my attitude on it is shifting. I think there is a lot of value in digital, and I think a lot of the fear built into, like, it might devalue my product or it's going to take away from my physical sales. I think a lot of those fears may just be unfounded. I'm not sure.
Oh, and it's not that I don't respect the customer, by the way, the creator. It's absolutely nothing to. It's economics. I'll buy as many digital books as I can, but when I actually turn around and say, okay, you know what, these particular digital books, I want to get the physical copies, but then when I actually do the numbers, I'm looking at what, maybe 10 books is going to cost me over $300.
Correct.
I mean, wow.
No, I totally get it, man. There's a lot of books that I would love to be able to back, but I can't afford to. You know?
Yeah.
I'm in the exactly, and I'm starting to consider.
Yeah, especially because of shipping costs. For here in Brazil, it's like $50 at the end. 25 for the comic, 25 for shipping, and the dollar exchange is insane here right now. So it's prohibitive for me to buy a physical copy when when I can buy digital, I always buy digital, and I, can read ComicsGate.
And here's something for forward thinking. If you actually have a business relationship, say I have a business relationship with this gentleman in Brazil, and I have another relationship with Ray, who's in the United States. You know what you can do is you can actually send your digital files to the press in that country, and they will be spearheaded and produced by your friend there, and you can mail it and distribute it that way.
Yes.
It's you're bypassing the
Hello,
system,
everyone.
and you're making it work.
Hey, Carla, how you doing?
Carla.
White Cat Comics in the house.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go.
Hey, Russ, thanks for being here,
Sorry,
man. Sorry, it got a little chaotic.
That's okay.
You know how it goes on this show.
Some great characters in it. Nice to meet everybody.
Hey, and everybody, check out onlydeathcansaveus.com. I've got links in the description below. Absolutely fantastic campaign Russ is running, and thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
I like your work, Ross. Just so you know.
Thanks, George. You too.
Hi, Russ.
Take it
Yeah,
easy, Ross.
yeah.
Good
Hi,
to see you,
Carly.
man.
Sorry, I'm not sticking around more. See
All
you.
right.
Bye.
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 Later.
Carla, so you've got some opinions.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yes. Well, I really like what White Cat Comics seems very committed to bringing something new and exciting to the digital side of comics.
Well, yeah, I have to credit my husband there. I was this is a very fun stream for me because this is pretty much the discussion we were having. I was like, no, let's not do digital. He was like, yeah, let's do digital. Let's do it good. Like, okay, what are we doing then? And yeah, I remember like when we were here promoting Witch Hunter with you, Rod. And John was telling you everything he has planned. Well, not everything he has planned, but like more or less like the idea he has with the digital thing. Yeah, I think it's pretty much what you guys were talking about all this time, about doing things differently. Yeah, he has this approach that he wants to do digital comics, but more like kind of like in an interactive way, like adding some flair to it. That's how he likes to call it. We're still not promising anything in particular because we're still budgeting and finding exactly what flair we're going to add to it. But yeah, it's going to be something different, and we're going to surprise the backers with it. And we're doing great with digital, to be honest. I don't know,
great.
like I am more like the financial part of the campaign. John likes to have ideas and have fun with it, and I put down things with numbers and okay, this works, this doesn't work. This I would say that if you take into account what you make per sale, I would say that digital is not that bad, like there's this kind of like demonization of digital books. I wouldn't say it's like that. Like personally, I prefer the book physically, of course, like a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't like offer, right, a digital option.
I agree.
For people,
Yes,
sorry.
And it's like I've backed a lot of campaigns over the last 2-3 years. I don't know. I'm over 70. And when there's always physical, I've never backed a digital version of a CG book, but it's like it being there, the digital being there has never, as someone who prefers the physical, I've never looked at that and gone, oh, they're offering digital. I'm not gonna, I don't take insults from it. It doesn't bother me. I think that this idea that it might take away or cause a problem with your backer, I don't think it exists, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah, like I don't know why you would have any problem with anybody for selling digitals, for God's sakes. Like it's not like we're talking about digitals as if it was, I don't know, like wow, high tech something. Like no,
yeah.
No, it's
well, I guess it's like
people.
I like where she was saying about the digital, because with digital you can do more than just sell. Because she just said they have a surprise, they're gonna make it interactive. You can do more with digital than you can with physical. So that's actually is a good idea. Right.
Yeah.
We should take advantage of that extra dimension of stuff that you can do. Like you can add music, you can add animation.
Correct.
Yeah, on Tapas, which is a webcomics aggregator too, you can put music. On Webtoons, I think you can put GIFs. so you can
The
have a
voice
little
acting,
animation.
everything. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty cool.
Exactly.
cool.
So I think that there's for
I,
this is my very personal opinion. I think that maybe here in I don't know if call it like CG or all this comic community. Some people say CG, some people don't say CG, but we take too seriously like roles to follow, like people to follow, role models, right?
yeah,
No, hell no, hell no. Think about something different. Like, yeah, exactly. As you guys were saying, like for example, in Tapas, well, now it's Tapas. I remember when it was Tapastic, and
Yeah.
Webtoon also. Yeah, like you can like unblock music or like I don't know, rainy sounds. I don't know. It's just a touch, but when you're reading it, it makes a different experience. So that's something you cannot give in physical. So I understand. Yes, physical. Personally, I prefer it. You have a lot of advantages. You can touch the books. You can, of course, you own it. It's yours. You can, like nobody can take it away from you. For example, if they send you a link and then like the link is down, okay, you can no longer read it. I guess I don't know. Depends. I think that was a problem with in the mainstream way of selling digital comics, but since you have this experience, because the experience is what sells the book, right? You can also have a different experience with PDF, but we're just not using the whole potential it has. And that's what my husband told me. That was his idea towards this idea for Witch Hunter. And he has been talking about it, and we've been selling PDFs like crazy.
that's
And I,
fantastic. Cool.
yeah, and you know what? Like when you actually make a campaign, this is our third one, right? And you stop seeing like the numbers, for example, oh, we're in 5K, oh, we're in 6K. No, you start seeing, okay, this for printing, this for shipping, this for packaging, this. You stop like dissecting the money
Yeah.
you made, and you end up seeing, okay, how much did I actually make with this? This for the artist, this for the letter, the colorist, so it's not like people see the number and they're like, oh, this number. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, it's insane. Like there's so many expenses and so much cost. It's
Mhm.
yeah,
Right.
it's
So
and
when
here,
you think what you actually make as earnings, well, of course you have to pass a certain number to actually make earnings, but in digital you keep the whole thing. You don't give it to the post office. You don't buy
Mhm.
Gemini mailers or expensive things. It's just the comic, you know.
Mhm. That's why
here,
I
here,
said you save money. You save some money when you do digital, but also to add to that finance, what she said, when you're adding some new elements, it's not just the digital where you sit there and read, and you're adding some sound effects and some special graphics and animation to your digital copy. You can increase that value because that's extra
Right.
work you put
sure,
in.
not,
but
not, not,
it is going to be extra work, which is of course an
well,
expense.
it is, and I can tell you firsthand over 30 years, this, I've done it myself too. Interactive PDFs, interactive CD-ROMs, and DVD-ROMs, you name it, the whole enchilada, even interactive websites presenting a more immersive experience, even Madefire, the different platforms that offer it. Uh, Doing this work, adding immersive elements, animation, sound, and all that stuff into a comic book is more effort than you'll ever receive in the benefits of it. And it is a fad, and will not make you any money. I'll tell you why. Because you have to be consistent, and producing that work will take a lot longer than you're able to keep on schedule. It
Yeah.
will be great on the first, second, or third issue, but by the time you hit issue 5, 6, 7, you'll be so far behind. You're just going to cancel it. I've seen this happen firsthand. It's not a fantasy. I'm telling you, as the sun is going to come up the next day,
Yeah.
you will find yourself so backlogged in the minutia of the technology that it's cost prohibitive.
Yeah, see
It,
everyone in the comments right there. That's what I mean. Like, as far as business wise, if you guys really want to make money, you really have to think of it from a business perspective. How much you have to sit there and think, how much is this going to cost me? Are they going to like my product? Think of it like you're coming out with an invention, right? You don't know if it's going to sell or not. If you create something, you don't know if it's going to sell or not. You don't know how the consumers are going to. So digital copy will save you money, first off, It'll let you know what your audience feedback is, and it'll help you encourage to either continue or change things, you know. So it's always best for someone who's starting up not to immediately go to physical, because if you can't afford it and you don't know if it's going to sell, why waste the money? You don't want to be red, you want to be green.
That's something key you say there. Sorry. Yes.
No, I was just going to say there is a big difference too. If you're talking about an art, say like someone like Russ Leach, he's the whole enchilada. He pretty much does all of it. I think he has someone lettering, but he produces all the art, the story. He does, so that's going to change. If you're a writer or someone who has to pay an artist, your biggest expense is going to be the artist.
Right.
Okay. The actual printing of the books is not, by comparison to what it costs an artist to produce that work, is actually pretty small.
Yeah, and also Ray said something that is key in my opinion, which is when you're starting out, right? We get this advice: don't do digital, don't do digital. Since we joined CG, right, from people that make hundreds and thousands of dollars in their campaigns, they have thousands of backers. It's not the same when you're just starting up, right? So I would say that that's important. Also, like when you're in a different, I don't know, like when you have different ways to sell when you have different volumes of selling. Like you don't care, okay, this person is not gonna back my $20 PDF bundle, whatever, or $10 PDF bundle, because I want to make my numbers look bigger. So I don't care if it's for shipping, I don't care if it's for packaging. I want my numbers to look bigger, right? Because
right.
Come on, let's not lie. Let's not lie. Everybody's like, oh, and how much did this campaign make? And how much did this campaign make?
That's the only thing people will remember, right?
Right, and nobody knows where that money is going to. Like, they don't know if it's going for expenses or as earnings. But of course, that here in the internet, everything looks very glamorous as earnings, and oh wow, yeah,
right.
Look, all I did, right?
Yeah, right. You could have a $20,000 campaign that doesn't make a cent, and a $5,000 campaign run very smartly that actually makes money. So that number really doesn't mean anything if you don't know what's going on behind the curtain.
Absolutely. So I see a lot of like first-time creators or people that are trying to start something, listening to advice from people that are selling, I don't know, a lot of copies, a lot, and of course the strategy is going to be different. That's in every business, right? So you cannot compare.
You figure out what works for you. You can't just copy somebody's template and expect it to work exactly the same for you.
Absolutely.
What actually works for you and your product.
Yeah, I mean, you have to build from scratch. You have to be more humble and not compare yourself to these huge creators and think you're just going to make it in your first attempt and try to get into huge shows. No, you have to start from scratch, slowly but surely, with solid people that actually following you. It's not like followers from somebody else that are okay, let's see one time what this is all about, and then you never see me anymore.
Right.
No, like you actually have your followers, right?
You make a great point there. I remember there were a couple, I think I had one video in particular when Donnie Cates called into EVS. I did this remix thing of it. And there's this, I look at my analytics on my YouTube and there's this gigantic spike out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, that was that day. And it's like, you're right. Nothing beats just the old-fashioned consistency, and George spoke to this too. Consistency is huge in all of this, but just building a legitimate, real audience that is there for what you're doing, not because someone else sent them there on a whim.
Yes.
Kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know if I should bring this topic up, but digital.
Chan chan chan.
Piracy.
Yeah, I don't see it as, I don't think that is something that comic book creators necessarily need to be worried about. The person who's going to be that low to just steal digital comic books,
I mean,
they're not buying shit anyway. They're not gonna buy anything.
Well, here's the thing, no offense. They're not gonna pirate something that's not like big. Like, I can see Marvel comic books or DC comic books having digital piracy issues, but small comic book creators won't see that until they get to that level of success. So you shouldn't even worry about that right now.
No, guys, you're thinking piracy in a completely wrong frame of thinking. Okay, first of all, piracy.
Who would have thought?
Hold on a sec. Piracy, it's pure advertising. Secondly, if someone goes out of their way to pirate your product, that means they like it.
You've probably, you're succeeding at something if somebody's pirating your shit.
I mean, that's true, George, but you still lose sales if too many
no,
people.
you don't.
Do you though?
He wouldn't buy anyway. He wouldn't buy anyway.
Exactly. You don't lose sales. The person was not a buyer in the first place. But what they're doing on your behalf is actually advertising your product.
They kind of are. Even the fact that, wait, is this thing this was worth pirating? Maybe I should check it out.
I think that mentality is no, because we all illegally downloaded music. We used to burn CDs and stuff, and that took money away from artists.
You're talking about the physical product.
Right. But people would download music off. What about LimeWire, BearShare? Why do you think those things are taken down?
We're talking about digital comics.
Right, but again, you're still taking money.
Digital comics, something we used to buy physically that we now can get digitally.
Right, but why? But if you're pirating it, right? If it's not advertisement, you're taking money away from potential customers. That's not the same logic, George.
Okay.
Cosplay is advertisement. Cosplay is free advertisement, right?
If someone pirates your product, they weren't going to buy it in the first place. If someone copies a pirated product, they weren't going to buy it in the first place.
I can't really argue with that.
Exactly, but why would you want,
what they're
them
doing
to buy it to support the comic, the product?
They don't care. They don't care. If they did,
I know they don't care, but my argument is it's not advertisement, George. It's
you're missing the whole structure of the torrent system or the pirate system. Is they actually are bringing your product or a product into the consciousness of several thousands, if not millions, of people that would have never been aware of it.
If that's the point, just give it for free.
I see what you're saying, George.
But if that's the case, George, if they're getting it for free because somebody pirated it, why would they have any initiative to pay for it? Some people would, sure. Some people would. Some people would, right? But you have to think about the sum versus the whole, right? If there's 10 people who saw that free link to that comic, and only 2 people think it's good enough to buy, guess what? You're still out of 8 people who are getting it for free. The numbers don't add up.
Okay, I would buy that thinking, but there's been case studies that actually prove from the music industry that piracy actually helped boost their sales.
I got an idea. Let's ask the creator of Runes of Regnan. What made you want to start your campaign again and do Runes of Regnan 2? People buying your book and reading it, or people pirating it?
What made me want to?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I followed the question.
Well, just recently you had people buying your book off of Amazon.
Right.
And aren't you starting a campaign again?
That is the plan. Yeah, to bring it back to life, sure.
Yeah.
So
what convinced you to
what
start
convinced me
working
to do
on that
it
book again?
Well, I think you, number one, like you just constantly bringing it up and putting it in front of me is like, it kind of woke up that, man, this would be a really fun project to, it has to be something. I can't be something where I'm like, I might be able to make money on. If that's my only motivating factor, it's a bad one.
That's a hollow motivating factor.
I have to be like, for me, that comic, Runes of Ragnan, it was something that I had put like a period after it, like that was something that I was done with. But the possibility, like you've kind of convinced me, like, okay, maybe this is something I could get into again and bring this back to life. That's exciting to me. That's fun. So yeah, I don't know.
Blue Teddy. Thank you, Blue Teddy. Respect you for that. Because I was just gonna touch bases on that with the whole concert thing, and it's like, yeah, can you afford a concert ticket, dude? Do you know how expensive concert tickets are? Yes, you can afford a concert ticket. Good for you. Not everyone can afford to go to a concert. So downloading stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pirating is for people who don't want to spend the money because they don't have the money, or they just want to be dicks. But most of the time, it's because they don't have the money to spend. That's what pirating started. Nobody wanted to spend $20 on a full album of music for 2 songs they liked on that album.
Yep.
It wasn't worth it. So people started downloading it. That's why I started downloading music. I wasn't gonna spend $20 per CD for 1 song I liked on the album.
Also, initially downloading songs, like trying to get an entire album, was a gigantic pain in the ass.
Right.
Like that was long before you could download an entire album at a stretch.
Right. You could probably just put in a few hours of work, making some money, and just buy the damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And also, it's a distribution problem. There was no way to get digital music to people, and until we finally got Amazon Music.
Well, they had a monopoly. That's the whole thing. And that's why digital took off so well. There was literally a monopoly on the music industry, and even if you're as an independent, you actually had to pay royalty rights for the encoding of the CD and that was insane.
No, I love you, Jazz Crab. I'm just giving shit. But no, it really is. It's all about people it's all about business. The best way to make money, because it takes money to make money. That's the basic thing they teach you in law. Business. I'm tired. But that's the basic business rule. It takes money. It takes money to make money. So if you want to make money and you're going into business for yourself, you have to think of what's cost efficient for you. How long is it going to take you to make an income? Because your first year, you're putting more money into yourself, into your product, than you're getting back. So don't ever expect money back, right? Don't ever expect money back unless you have something that's going to take off right away.
Good. That is I'm really glad you brought that up. That is so, being based in that way of thinking in reality is very smart.
Well, we got to be pragmatic about this shit, right?
Yeah. And I love Blue Teddy makes a really good point. I think the difference is there's no real value to physical copies of music. That could be argued. People love their vinyl and shit. But I get the point. But there is to physical copies of visual art mediums. It's like audio it's this digital. I think it almost exists as a digital thing in our minds anyway. So it doesn't feel like it's not like a difference. Your experience of it isn't really altered all that much from the physical to a digital. Whereas with the comic, these are 2 different experiences completely.
Well, here's something a lot of you haven't even thought of or framed it in the thinking. Imagine this, okay? Every one of us right now, 50, 100 years from now, we've lived a long life. God willing, and we're passing. We're on death's door, and we're passing on our prized possessions to the next generation, or to the kids, or to the grandkids, whatever. And the traditional sense is, I give you this house, I will it over to you, or I will it over to you. My prized possession of the Academy Award, or whatever trinket, or here's a long box of comic books.
Right.
Okay. Now, imagine this, son. I'm going to be dying soon. Here's a USB drive of all my comic books.
I knew it was going that way.
Right.
Here is a copy of all the music, all the movies I've collected in the last 50 years. There's trillions of files there, son. I hope you can do something with it.
I hope you enjoy them.
Yeah. Now, it's funny, isn't it?
When you put it that way, it's funny.
It is. It's weird but it doesn't really apply to games, though. You have some physical copies of games from PlayStation 1 that are like 10 times the price. I agree with you. I agree with you. But you have this difference on other media. And
here's the crazy thing. Okay, you're gonna love this. There's our actual real world scenario where someone wanted to pass on their collection to their friend or family. I think it was family, right? And since their entire library was online in the cloud, hosted by Apple or whoever, they wouldn't allow him to transfer the license from one person to the other.
Wow.
That's honestly my biggest concern about digital stuff.
Yeah.
Is that you're at that point it almost feels like you're renting it rather than you own something.
You are. If you're,
Wait, George,
Yeah.
repeat the phone thing again, because I worked at phone sales. What was the issue with the phone? They couldn't transfer what?
Oh no, they couldn't transfer the license of the music and the movies over to somebody else.
Wow.
Because it was on the phone?
No, because it was on the cloud, sitting on Apple server or whatever.
I don't think I don't think the licensing was the issue. With Apple's terms of services, I think it's more of a privacy thing. Legally, they can't transfer over somebody else's stuff. If the person died, that's it. They'd have to sign. Well,
that's license. That falls under licensing.
It's
So
not
you're
about
saying
license.
on top of it all, digital isn't even transferable.
Well, but here's the thing. It's not transferable if you're a dumbass and just keeping it on the cloud or whoever's cloud service.
Yeah.
Copy your you made a purchase of your movie. You damn well download that digital file and save it to your hard drive or to
But
your
you're
USB drive.
you're speaking as if that's always going to be a possibility. I feel like the way it's headed is that option for physical download isn't even going to be a thing. 10 years from now.
That's what they're working to, and that's
of course,
and that's the thing that's actually going to be a challenge in our future. Is you're going to sit there and going to go, well, what happened to the physical books? Well, what happened to the physical media of any kind? Yeah. Oh, well, now you're just going to have to access it, or through your friends and family plan, whatever, online, and then they can go in and remove whatever's in your library because of whatever reasons. And they already have tried that before with that Amazon Kindle, and that was a shit show.
Yeah. Or they're just going to, based on the politics of the time, whatever's trending, things can be altered, changed, and you have no control over it. You don't get to have that thing, permanence of a thing anymore.
But there are pros and cons.
This is why I have an internal server.
Yeah, there are pros and cons to digital and physical. Like, for instance, that gentleman over there with the cool gaming chair mentioned how gaming with digital and physical, there's pros and cons there, right? Physical copies right now, in my opinion, are more beneficial for gamers, consumers to have than digital for two reasons. Number one, you can still trade in and get some value off of that physical copy. If your PlayStation, Xbox with all those downloaded games are on your thing, you can trade that into GameStop, sure, but you can't trade in all those games, so that's money lost out of your pocket, right? Physical copies or digital copies, if something happens to your gaming system, you have a physical copy instead. You can put it in, and still might work. There's so many pros and cons with digital and physical copies right now.
Yeah.
And until there's more cons for physical copies than there are pros, I don't think physical versus digital is going to be an issue, at least for another decade or so.
Going back to digital comics, I think the overall opinion of everyone here is that there's no reason to not offer digital comics, right?
Yeah. Agreed. I don't see one. I don't see a reason. I mean, I think Ray, is that how to pronounce that? Ray?
Yes.
Okay. I think you made a really good point in that, up to a certain point in terms of how big you are, that this piracy thing just isn't really, I don't think it needs to even be factored in, unless you're talking about, you're in the huge 20 plus thousand of backers, and then it might be a problem for you where it starts making an actual dent. But at most, the size of indie comic, I don't think that piracy of a digital offering is really something to be that concerned about.
Well,
so I don't see any reason why not to offer. I guess the big question is, at what price do you offer it?
Well, let me bring it home. Something that everyone will actually appreciate and understand. Piracy has been going on in the comic book world forever. And how? Have you gone to a convention and you see somebody draw Superman? He's offering the original art. That's not piracy. But he's offering prints. That is piracy.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yep. I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
That is
interesting. If you want to sell a one-off, that's fine. But making prints of other people's characters that you don't own, I do not agree with that at all.
Well, so here's the thing.
Not even for fan arts?
George is partially right, because think about it. There is first of all, cosplaying a character, you're copyright infringing, right?
Yeah.
Making fan art of a character you don't, that's copyright infringement. Why do you think these companies don't come after you? Because in George's defense, he is right in that aspect. It is free advertisement. That's why they don't care. You're advertising something for them, because when they drop a movie, because they know most of us don't have the pockets to make a full featured movie about Batman or Superman. They do.
Exactly.
So when they drop it, we're
Uh-oh.
gonna go see it. So they're making the most money out of it.
No, I agree. Well, I used to think
I dropped
like
it.
I don't understand this idea of
Yeah, you dropped that a little bit.
not being able to show like movie trailers and talk about trailers or things like that on YouTube. Like, why would companies do that when it's all free marketing?
Bad criticism. They don't want bad criticism. They only want you to say good things about their product. Only good things are allowed.
Yeah.
You know, they went after the creator of Ghost Rider for like billing himself as the creator of Ghost Rider at conventions and selling prints of the character he created for them back in the day.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
that
they
was,
sent him cease
he
and
knew
desist
he
and
knew
shit like that,
the
around
he
when
knew
the movie was
the
coming out.
he
Todd
probably
McFarlane
knew
threw
the
the
devil
Mouth
still he
movies.
was making when he made it, though.
So perfect example of people who created a product that are okay with copyright or free advertisement when it's beneficial, right? Hans Saban, the creator of Power Rangers, he created Power Rangers, although technically speaking it's based off of a Japanese thing, but he technically
Super
created Power
Sentai
Rangers, right?
something or other.
But he created Power Rangers, cool. So anytime you use Power Rangers or anything in media, you go to cons or you go to even conventions, anime conventions, they're all copyright infringement because they're using characters from these things. But they don't care; it's free advertisement. However, when when there was a creator on YouTube, he makes edgy fan films of children's shows and stuff. So he made a
Bat in the
R-rated,
Sun.
right? He made an R-rated version of Power Rangers where they were cussing. He got some B-list TV celebrities to be in the roles, and they were cussing and killing each other and stuff.
Wow.
The creator put a stop to that immediately. He
Right.
shut that down. He said, "This is a kid show. I can't have you guys misrepresenting blah blah blah." That was the
Damaging
only
to the brand.
time. Right. That was the only time he intervened in all the decades of Power Rangers. Now, gaming wise, Metal Gear Solid, great
Yeah.
franchise, right?
Right.
There was
Bad
this
Konami
group
sucks.
called I forgot what they were called. They are still on YouTube. They made amazing live action short film of Metal Gear Solid. Done low budget, looked high budget. It was
Oh,
amazing,
yeah.
right?
I remember
Yeah.
that
It was
one.
amazing.
Yep.
He the company who made Metal Gear Solid and produced
Konami.
it shut that down. Konami, they shut that down. The creator Hideo Kojima actually praised them for the trailer, praised them for the movie, loved it. The company shut them down. They said no. If we're not getting paid, you're not getting paid. Some
Because
people
Konami is horseshit.
Konami is horseshit. But yeah, some creators they're very finicky about their copyright. So George does have a point. Most of them won't touch you as long as it's free advertisement. You start making more money than them, they'll be knocking on your door. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
You're
We
right.
want our royalties.
Or if it's too far off message or off brand. for
Right, if
that
it hurts their
property.
brand. Yeah,
Yeah.
but cosplaying, free advertisement. Keep people doing fan art and stuff, short stories. Even if you were to make a comic book about Batman universe or something, they won't come after
They
you.
might raise a little bit of an issue with a comic book.
If the comic is doing something like if you made Batman a Nazi or something, they might be like, excuse me, wait a minute, we can't have Batman being
Marvel
no
did it with
Hail
Captain America.
Hitler, right? We can't do that.
Well, that happened. That happened.
Why? I thought we were all Nazis now. What's the
No,
difference?
but that actually happened with Frank Miller's last Batman book. DC said, no, we can't have Batman fight Muslims. So Frank Miller repurposed that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy tear.
Yeah, they don't mind if you do their comics like of their characters, as long as you're not, doing them bad like that. Like we're just gonna go out and just start killing Black Lives Matter people because he's Batman. Like, excuse me, what? I'm sorry, Batman's doing what? Batman
So I
did
guess
what?
just to swing this all the way back, is there any reason that any of you can think of for someone running a campaign not to offer digital?
No. I can't.
I
think
say
of a
offer
single
digital with the physical.
Yeah.
Like if you buy the physical copy, you automatically get a digital copy of it. That's what Brian Polito does with Lady Death.
Oh yeah,
Everything he does.
I think a lot of campaigns do that. I mean, it seems like I would say more do that than don't. But
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of selling a digital copy separately.
Oh, just
Yeah,
to sell just a
I
digital
think
copy.
the small campaigns do. I never see big campaigns offering digital campaigns. I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
I guess I can right, they're two different problems. I guess at a certain point it becomes, why would I offer something at a lower cost point? Because there's such demand for this, I might as well get the highest price possible for what I'm offering. So I get that. I guess I can understand that mindset. But yeah, like with Carla, with Witch Hunt, with the White Cat Comics, they're experiencing great success with the digital sales. So it seems like it might be at this point a scaling thing. Like the smaller campaigns can benefit greatly from digital, and the larger campaigns maybe not so much.
Well,
Yeah,
'cause-
absolutely. I think it's a matter of perspective. If you are counting penny by penny right now in this campaign, like this is the definitive thing, I'm gonna die tomorrow. Okay, yeah, maybe. But if you're looking at your property, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna sell this, and then I'm gonna, I don't know, like make a store and sell merchandise and sell this, and then make a spin-off and blah blah blah. Like it's a property. It's not like just this very book I'm selling here, right? I think it's more a matter of vision. I don't know. For example, take the ComicsGate. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the ComicsGate. That's the biggest doujinshi comic market in Japan. They do a summer one and a winter one.
Yeah.
Everything there is doujinshi, and doujinshi is just fans drawing. It's not, of course, it's fan made stuff from actual properties, and the Japanese are way ahead of this mentality of, oh no, this, don't look at my job unless you pay your $50 back. Like no. The Japanese are way ahead on that. They allow this instead. Like, in fact, this is the biggest comic market in Japan. They do it twice a year. People make like huge lines outside of these events just to get into it. And the actual companies don't make a single penny out of this.
Right.
But they allow it. They allow it. And,
again,
and
yeah,
also,
that's cool. That's forward thinking. Like George, again, it falls in line with that they understand this is building the legend of our properties. It's getting it into the consciousness at a deeper level of the public. So it's a benefit.
Yes. However, I wouldn't go as far as to say like, okay, piracy is publicity. I wouldn't. It's advertisement. I wouldn't say that exactly. But I see more or less where he's coming from. For example, I come from South America, right? And nobody pays for anything there. We read everything in piracy. We're experts.
Way to say South America is cheap.
Why?
We're experts at stealing manga. Well, I never like paid for a digital manga, for example. Yeah, I know. Americans are gonna be like, oh,
Trump was right, thieves. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that's the reality.
Right. So from your perspective, it was situational. It was circumstance. It's a byproduct of where you're at, and what you're dealing with. And it's like it didn't matter if it was offered or not offered. You weren't going to buy that product anyway. You weren't able to. So it didn't cost the creator. Did it cost the creator money because you did that? I guess is the question.
Well, if you only do that book and that's it, maybe it will cost you money. But if you plan continuing doing more stuff, offering different things, because, for example, I was reading a bunch of mangas, and the amount of anime conventions that you can find in Latin America is like 2 or 3 per weekend. And everybody goes there and buys everything. Yeah. Like I bought so many things because I read the manga and I liked it. So of course I was reading Fairy Tail, I remember, and I wanted to have Fairy Tail pens, Fairy Tail sketchbooks, Fairy Tail towels, everything. I was buying everything, an original, because of course I want the good thing. But it came from that. If I didn't read the actual manga, how do I know that I like it, right?
Yeah,
so
that's valid. So it got into your consciousness. It became something that you're a fan of, and down the road, you invested money into it.
Right,
Yeah,
but if the guys only offered the manga,
Yeah.
they wouldn't never have made anything out of me, right?
Right. Yeah.
I bought the
Gotcha.
merchandise,
I
and
feel
most of the times, like the Japanese do this. Sometimes, like they just design a cute animal, a cute little something, a ball
Right.
with pink cheeks,
Yeah.
and it becomes successful, and they make an anime out of it. So they promote it even more. It's like it's even as if the stories are just a way of promoting the merchandise. The products are what they're actually making money off.
Because
Yeah.
you can't really pirate the merchandise. You
Yes,
actually have to buy that shit.
Correct.
yeah,
right.
So it's
yeah.
a long term vision. It's a understanding that
Yes.
you have to. It's about time, and impatience. I think is the number one can be the number one enemy of independent creators. Not good. Not having a good plan, not understanding. Like Ray brought up before, dude. Your first year, you're not looking to make profit in that first year. It's not
Right.
saying it's impossible, but you're investing into what you're doing at least for that first year, probably longer. And that's fine. That's okay. It's normal. It's how it works.
I completely agree with what
How
Ray said. That's
any business works.
basics in business. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how any business works. I owned a business before, and I had to learn that the hard way myself. So it's like, it really is. Trust me, by the way, unless you are making enough money to pay other people to deal with the headaches, don't recommend going into an actual business. But yeah, I'm just saying, it's really about knowing business. It's about knowing what you are financially capable of doing. If you're not financially capable, 100% go digital. It's a smarter move. And I love that Carla and her husband have this thing where they're offering digital, but it's not just a simple digital. They want to do something different. They want to bring more to it. So they want more bang for the buck. They're giving
Yeah.
customers more bang for the buck. So it's worth it. If she's gonna do something that's not just a standard digital and really make it worth it, I think she can even increase the value, so she can make it more money because they put more time and effort into it. I really respect that. I think that's an amazing idea.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think of me as a fan. When I read a story, like, I like get involved with the characters more. Like, I like appreciate the characters more. So when you're offering me a keychain of that character, I want to have it because I admire that character when was in that adventure doing this and that and what he told this other character, whatever the reason is. This is very subjective. You buy when you actually buy something is for very subjective things. We're not machines that are scanning pages like line art 100%, coloring 98%. No, we're not like that. We have very
Right.
emotional, impulsive reasons for actually buying something, right? So you have to go to the heart, right? And quick, buy it now.
Yeah. Does it speak
So
to
I
you?
think that's the point. Yeah.
Yeah, that does it speak to you, and I think, as much as I might not like to admit it, I do
Yeah.
think we had Testify HD in here earlier. Maybe a mistake, but he was actually on pretty decent behavior. I know he maybe got under your skin a little, Barbusco.
Not really.
But
not
he's
really,
good
to
at
be
that. But
honest.
anyway, I think he had
That's what he likes to do.
his point about us maybe getting more innovative and more creative and
No,
more
I
thoughtful
completely
agree.
about our marketing and how we might set ourselves apart. I think that's very valid.
No, I
And
completely agree with him and George on that point. I was just trying to make a point on again. Like sometimes people say, like, if you just post on Webtoons, that the audience there will help you to sell your company. But I do really not believe that the audience on Webtoons is a good one.
yeah, I
They
get
don't
that.
like to click. Yeah, as you said, like they
It's
just
just a
want to
component.
read.
It's a
Yeah,
way
they
to get
just
your thing out there. That's all.
yeah, because I really don't think the people there wanna buy stuff or wanna even leave the website. But I
Sure.
agree completely with George and Testify, right?
But
That you
let me
should advertise on other on
yeah,
other.
but let me ask you this. Do you think that having done the work, the legwork and the time that you've invested into your webcomic, even though you might not see it directly as a way to leverage or get sales, it does create a presence, something. I think that it has put you in a position where now you can pivot a little and turn that into profit. You know what I'm saying?
Rod, if you want to share, I'm sharing screen to show you something that has to do
Yes.
with this whole webtoon thing. As you can see here, this is the second crowdfunded campaign from Let's Play. This is a very, very like gay, girlish
Yeah, yeah.
webtoon.
Right,
And as
right.
you can see, there's 355K made on this campaign. This campaign comes
Yeah.
from webtoons. This is the second one they're making, and there's so many of them that
But I want to point out, I agree with you, but the point I'm trying to make is this: like they have 3.2 million subscribers there. There are millions of people that read each of their chapters. Look at how many people back there. 5,000. That's my point. And I when I
It's a valid
when I,
point, yeah.
when I pointed to you, or Carla, I was like saying that you don't have a web comic that is as famous as this, and you are being successful in your campaign. My point is that webtoons is not really a good place to get and to fund your campaigns. YouTube, Twitter, being part of the community, advertising, doing different stuff, just like Testify and George said. That's my point. I'm just saying that to get 5,000, 5,000.
It's not impressive. It isn't. If
Yeah.
you're looking at, it says right here 3.6 million subs.
Is this for a digital copy though? I'm not understanding where the numbers are for.
I
Like, what
think
are they
it's
trying
physical.
to sell?
I
think
love
it's a
you all,
physical-
guys, but I haven't had the opportunity to explain my point yet.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, sorry. I
love
just need
you all.
context
Sorry,
too. I
sorry,
need
sorry.
context.
Yeah, but Busco, I'm not saying anything about that. I actually have been debating about starting a webtoons myself. I'm not saying that this is better, that this is the way to do it, that everybody should do a webtoon because you're gonna get rich. No, not at all. The magic spells don't work in real life.
Right.
So I completely agree with you in that regard. What I'm trying to say here is that if you analyze how they did this campaign, is based in a lot of merchandise. If you look at if you read the actual comic, yes, you have to wait for it, guys. What the hell? But if you read the actual comic, oh my god, the art is so bad. Oh my god, it's like just taking screenshots from how do you call this program? SketchUp, right?
Right.
And no, yeah, it's really like this thing you're seeing here is like the most decent art I've seen from it. However, why are we reading this? Well, not we. It's me. I know it's a very gay comic. Why am I still reading? Because it touched my heart. Like it's cute. Like the dog is cute.
Yeah.
They sell these plushies and all these things, and I want to have it because the dog is funny. The dog did this in the story, and it has heart. It touched my heart. That's all I need. All I need. It's not about like, oh my god, this is the most gorgeous art. This has to be the most successful campaign. No, it's not this fantasy that we are being sold here in ComicsGate. Of course, you need a certain standard of quality, right? Of course, you need it.
Right.
But it's not everything that square, that fair, that predictable. Maybe you can have a very beautiful looking comic, but is it touching people's hearts? I don't know.
Right. If it doesn't hit people in that spot, that place that just where they have to have it, then it doesn't matter. So like you make a really good point, and there's no one way to do it, and it's different for everybody. Like
it's
don't just model. You can't just take something and like the intro of this show. You can't just copy and paste somebody else's success into your own realm and think it's going to work. You have to build that yourself. You have to discover what it is you can bring that nobody else is going to bring, and it's got to impact people in that place that makes them like have to have it.
I mean, people just think of it this way, right? You have a really hot guy or a really hot girl, and they look good. They look good to you on the outside, like, damn, you fine. But then they open their mouth like, damn, you suck at talking.
Right?
Let me be out of here. Damn, you said that? No. It's like people, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yep. That's in real life. That's in real life,
That's a real thing.
Next time you buy a comic, guys, or you want to back a comic, think of them as attractive people, and then wait till they open their mouth to see if they're worth putting money into, okay?
Nice. Well, I want to thank everybody on the panel for dropping in today, being here. We're just over 2 hours. I got to get running. So let's and of course to the chat, everyone for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Gargoyle, anything you want to shout out today?
I plugged your book. Runes of
You already
Ragnar.
plugged my book. You're done. You did your job.
Yeah, I'm done.
Thanks for being here, man. Barbusco. Obviously, if you're not following Barbusco Studios on Twitter, if you're not signed up to their YouTube, get that done. Is there anything you'd like to shout out specifically?
Not specifically. I just like said, follow me on Twitter. I do commissions too, guys. I'm looking for work. This is Witch Hunter, a fan art ID. I wanted to show you some of my work.
Awesome.
We love it. We love it.
Show you guys some of
Absolutely.
my work.
Oh,
And
that's
Nika
hot.
is going to color it soon, right?
Nice.
So wait a little bit, Carla.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Beautiful, man. That I see maybe a potential trading card in the future.
That
I
is
need
really
authorization from the
amazing.
creator.
You drew that?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you can do whatever. It's a fan art. It's for you guys.
Ooh.
That's
Thank you so much.
Stunning.
That is
really
my
good.
Christmas
That's
gift.
good.
Thank you.
a lot, guys.
Very nicely done. So if you want to see more work like that at that level, that's what Barbusca Studios is. That's the level they're working at. So go follow them. Really good stuff. Death Metal Hero, what you got going on, man?
Tonight at 6, I've got Art T. Bear coming on to do a What's in the Box because I got Chrono Mechanics. And
Dude, I got my Chrono Mechanics. Woo! That book, what a dense read, man. That thing is intense. It's a lot of fun. It's a crazy ride, and it
I
is.
haven't opened it yet.
Dude.
I also got my Billy Tucci's Return of the Warrior. I'm waiting to hear back from him. But yeah, Art is coming to hang out.
Nice. And that's tonight at,
That's tonight
is that
at
6 p.m.
on,
Eastern?
On my channel, yes.
Nice, dude. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Ray Bear. Oh, there it is. So this is what will be unboxed tonight?
Yes.
And Archie
Shack
Bear will be
Studios.
there.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Nice,
what I'm
dude.
working on.
Very cool.
Nice.
It's, Bloody Daredevil from the Fragtober. I didn't get to finish
beautiful,
it,
dude.
So
nice.
I'm just gonna go ahead and finish it, since I don't have a time limit now.
Yeah. Very cool. Hey, Ray Bear, is there anything you want to shout out today?
Shout out to Snowdub and Testify. Woot woot. That's all I got.
Nice. Hey, and I really enjoyed having you here. You brought a lot of great points to the conversation. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah. This is an open format show. I've been doing it Monday through Friday, but maybe I might switch that to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just for my own sanity. But yeah, you're welcome anytime, for sure.
Yay.
George, PeterGatsis.com.
Well, if you really want to piss me off, find Sim on whatever social media you're following him and unsubscribe.
And that will piss off George?
That'll piss me off.
Yes, indeed. And Sim was in the chat. Awesome. I've got links to Sim's great stuff in the description below. But if you need your George fix, you got to go to GeorgePeterGatsis.com. That's where you're going to find everything you need. Isn't that right, George?
Yeah.
Yes. And then, Carla, it was really cool having you here. I feel like this is an ongoing conversation. I'd love to have John on to talk digital comics as well at some point down the road.
Oh, you can never stop him from talking.
Yeah, and I know that this time period, like during the day, during the weekdays, this isn't a good time for him. But maybe we'll set it up on a Saturday or something.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, he has 2 jobs, so yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to shout out beyond, of course, the Mighty Witch Hunter campaign? If you haven't hit that, everybody go check that out. And I did, I modded up White Cat Comics in the chat, so if you want to drop some links, you're welcome to do so.
Awesome! Thank you very much. Yeah. I just wanted to pitch Witch Hunter. We're doing things, trying to innovate a little bit, baby steps so far, but. This campaign, we're offering 2 different covers in which each cover has a different ending. So we're trying to spice up a little bit this whole variant cover thing. So we have one made by me, the manga cover, and we also have the Vini Tartamela cover. That's like the feature tier, and we're very, very close to get to our first stretch goal, which is 5K. And we're gonna add some pages for the book. It's going to go from 46 to 50. That's gonna be the first stretch goal, and then we're gonna be adding a shit ton of stuff. So,
Nice.
if you guys are interested, please check out the project.
Very cool, people. Get over to the Witch Hunter campaign and back that project. You can back it digitally, physically. They give you all the options there. So yeah, check that out. Thanks again, everybody. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's show, we're going to have Grave Robber crew on, and then Saturday we will have another cool show for you, bringing on the Mothman crew. Shane Mess will be in the house, so that's going to be good stuff. Nice. And I think that we'll leave you with this today. Thanks, everybody.